Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire with another La Palma update for November 18th, 2021. Well folks, here's some recent footage of the volcano, and I apologize that this is the footage that I'm showing you. Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to make of this. Usually the footage I show you is from TV Canarias. Their footage isn't bad. I prefer to watch on TV La Palma, as I'm sure most of you do, but then again, maybe I'm assuming too much, but this is as good as it gets right now, unfortunately. Like, this apparently is the mouth of the volcano, and it's so smoky and whatnot, you can't really see too much through all the smoke and whatnot. But La Cumbre Vieja has indeed calmed down considerably since yesterday when we saw record earthquakes of 300 plus in a 24-hour period. Now we've seen approximately slightly over 100, so it's still very active, but not nearly as active as the earthquakes were yesterday. Now, on the subject of earthquakes, I want to show you this graph here. This is a very good graph. I'm glad IGN published this because this basically shows the ups and downs of the earthquakes since day one of the eruption, since September 19th. This is a fantastic visual to show you that shows the ups and downs of greater activity combined with lesser activity since the beginning of the eruption. As you can see, there's many peaks and valleys in this. Such is the plight of the earthquakes with the volcano. I just don't understand the people that put out content when there's a valley in the earthquakes and say, oh, La Palma's coming to an end. Well, no, it's just at a period of lesser activity. As I said before, a volcano isn't like a light switch where it just turns off all of a sudden and, well, that's it until the next eruption. It simply doesn't work like that. So for future reference, folks, I'd like you to remember this graph just so you understand that there are indeed many peaks and valleys throughout a volcano's eruption as far as earthquake activity is concerned. So Volcano Discovery has put out a new update on La Cumbre Vieja today. Let's see what they have to say. The increasing trend of activity at the volcano ended suddenly last night when volcanic tremor abruptly fell to lower levels compared to those before the surge of activity in the past 2 days. In tandem with the volcanic tremor, believed to correlate with magma supply rates, visible lava activity has been significantly lower today as well. Less lava was visible at the surface and the active fronts advanced less than had been feared. So as you can see right there, I mean, the volcano can pick up in intensity quickly, it can decrease in intensity quickly. That is just the nature of an erupting volcano. Still, another 12 hectares of new land have been covered, mostly banana plantations, by the active flow, labeled number 4 on official maps. These have been advancing between the cinder cones Montañas de Todoque and La Laguna and was about 300 meters from the sea earlier today. Despite the falling tremor, explosive activity has been quite intense today with phases of near continuous lava fountains and strong ash emissions generated by a plume that rose over 300 meters and drifted in easterly and southeasterly directions, as can be seen on the following videos posted by Involcan. Reported gas emissions have increased again to very high values of 16,000 to 32,000 tons of SO2 per day, mainly directly from the vents, 2,300 to 2,500 tons of CO2, mainly from the form or diffuse emissions from the soil. In the beginning of the eruption, up to 50,000 tons of SO2 were injected into the atmosphere per day. Deformation of the ground continues to show a slow trend of deflation. Earthquakes decreased also by 70% in intensity and numbers compared to yesterday. During the past 24 hours, there were 3 quakes of magnitudes 4.3 to 4.6, as well as 33 quakes between 3.0 and 3.9, while there were more than 100 yesterday. So as you can see, once again, folks, in just one day, you see the dramatic difference in earthquake activity. That is absolutely shocking that it can go up and down that quickly, but that's how things work with an erupting volcano. What concerns me is the elevated levels of SO2. That is quite a lot compared to what we were used to. I thought the SO2 was dying down. So you see the earthquakes die down, but the SO2 can go up as well. So there's different variables that can fluctuate. This is such a fluid situation, and the volcano is so fluid that things can change very quickly. No one knows for sure ultimately what's going to happen with this eruption. But I implore you to have a plan if the worst happens and something goes seriously sideways with La Cumbre Vieja. Have a bug out bag, have a full tank of gas at least, and have a place to go if the worst should happen. Folks, it's better to err on the side of caution. That is the most sound advice that anyone's going to give you today. Folks, just as I was about to wrap up this video, I have something else to report on La Palma. A 4.8 earthquake has just struck La Palma. It's probably been downgraded by the EMSC, and that just goes and further proves my point how wildly unpredictable an active volcano is. But thank you so much for coming along with me in my update. Please remember to like, to comment, to share, and of course to subscribe if you haven't already. And until the next update, God bless.